Welcome back to another episode of doing videos on the floor because these are way too big to have in shot if we did it up there on the table. So, vacuuming. Well, nobody likes doing it, but if you can get a robot to do it for you, that's even cooler. But why do we have two of them here? Well, this one was actually sent to me by the company Yeezy. They wanted me to review this one. And on the right, I guess we'll call him the contender here. This is the one I've been using for about 3 years now, and I've liked it. It's a real base model, though. Nothing too special about it. So, which one's going to perform better? Well, I'm going to blab about it, and I got B-roll of each one doing its thing, so let's get into it. So, let's start with the one I've been using, the Roomba 690. When I say basic, it's pretty basic. It doesn't even map out your house or apartment or whatever. It just kind of randomly, like, what were those toys? Those bumper toys that had like the spinny wheel underneath, so they would just go in random directions. It's kind of like that. It has no mapping, no cameras, no sensors that do any kind of mapping. It just randomly bumps and goes and kind of just hoping that it gets a good vacuuming job done. And most of the time, it does. But more often than I would like, it doesn't. Like where Sammy's got his litter box, for example, sometimes it'll just forget to go over there one day of vacuuming, and you find out later when you actually step in the litter that's still on the floor. So that's super fun. And it becomes more of a supplementary kind of vacuuming where you still gotta once a week do an actual vacuuming with a real one. So, yeah, it's okay, but I guess I just got used to it. But then when they sent me the Yeezy, now this costs $300, but this one also costs $300, the Roomba. So they're both the same price. But feature-wise, this is way better. I've actually been using the Yeezy as my daily robot vacuum driver for almost a month now, I would say, 3 weeks. And I would have recorded this video sooner, but I was sick. Apologies if I still sound a little sick, but I want to get this video done because I want to show you guys this vacuum. So, yeah, I like it way better than the Roomba. I've since retired him. I'm going to clean him out and see if I could sell it. I don't know if there's much of a used market for used robot vacuums. Anyway, we're not getting into that. So, the Yeezy, what does this do that this doesn't? Well, this has full-on mapping capabilities. It has a camera on top, and I only needed to actually use that camera for when it was pairing to the Wi-Fi because the app showed like a QR code and I had to hold it in front of the camera to scan it. I don't know. I would assume that it uses the camera to look up at the ceiling and that's how it kind of maps out where it is. But here, let me show you the app here. There we go. So it's got a map of me place. It came up with this map on its own. On the first run, you have it just do its thing, leave it alone. And it has decided that that is a separate room, which it is. That's my bedroom. That's my bathroom. And here's like, well, everything else, like living area. And yeah, so it has decided that's the map. And it's a pretty accurate map of my apartment, not gonna lie. And I can tell it from here to go clean a specific room or a specific designated square foot area, and it will actually go do that and return right back to the charger with no issue. So yeah, I love that it actually not only maps out, but as you watch it vacuum, it does nice straight lines, does one row after the other, doesn't leave anything missing in between, does a really good job. Let's see. Let's look at the vacuum a little more closely. It is not quite as tall as the Roomba, which I like, because the height for this thing was absolutely perfect to wedge itself underneath my refrigerator from time to time. So I had to put one of these. The Roomba comes with one of these sensors. You can buy more if you need more from Roomba. This basically shoots out an infrared beam and kind of creates an invisible wall, telling the Roomba, do not pass this point. So I had to put this in front of the fridge, and it also meant a small corner of the fridge would never get cleaned by the Roomba because, well, this would block him. But it's either that or let him get stuck under the fridge. That's not really the Roomba's fault. I mean, it's just the height difference. This doesn't get stuck underneath. It's a little bit shorter. Let's take a look under the hood. Ooh. Something I really like, I know it seems like a minor thing, but the cleaning tool, it stays in its own compartment right down here. It's got a blade to get stuck hair out of the main brush, an actual brush to get some dust out. I like that because I often misplace the Roomba one that it came with. In fact, if I were asked right now where that brush is for him, I don't know. So I like that this is always here and accessible. Here is the dustbin, and dust goes in. You open the back and clean that out. It's got a filter that you can clean the dust out of. And yeah, it has the capacity for, I don't know, maybe like 2 or 3 vacuuming trips before it's full. I will say that every time it does a vacuuming job, this thing is full of cat hair, so I know it's working well. Speaking of vacuuming cat hair, you can actually adjust the fan speed within the app. I always have it on the maximum because why not? This never had a problem with cat hair either, but again, with no mapping and just endlessly boink boink boinging all around like a bump and go toy, I never really felt like it was getting everything. I always felt like it was missing something. The dustbin for him is on the back, and I do think it holds maybe a little more, but you can tell I forgot to empty it before the video, so there you go. Hope you weren't eating. But yeah. Now, speaking of the fan speed, you might want to lower the fan speed if you're looking to get more battery life out of this, because that's one thing the Yeetie does not have over the Roomba. With the Roomba, it can vacuum for about an hour and a half before it needs to go back to its charger, which it will do. Both of these will automatically go back to their little charging base when they're low and charge up their batteries. So this, you can get about an hour and a half out of it. This, if you have the fan speed on maximum, you get about 40 minutes. And it takes 2 hours to fully recharge it. So it's not an issue for me personally because I have it clean when I'm out during the day. I tell it to start around like 9, and I'll get a notification at like 9:40 that low battery, returning to base. And then when it does, I get another notification from the app that says after 120 minutes of charging, it will resume the cleaning job. And it will do that after 2 hours. So I don't mind it because I'm not home. I don't care that it's running longer than this probably would. But if you're home and you're there to actually hear it and deal with it, might be a little annoying because you basically got to hear it twice if you want it to do a full job on full power. So again, you can lower the fan speed. That'll probably help it. I would assume it would. But with a Sammy in the house, I have it on maximum speed all the time. So that's probably my only gripe with it, compared to the Roomba. It surpasses the Roomba in every way. Functionality, even on max fan speed, it is a little bit quieter than the Roomba. Yeah, being able to map out the apartment, being able to designate a specific cleaning spot for it. I had to reboot there. It's, yeah, and the fact that it's the same price, if you have to go between the two of them, get the Yeetie. Now, this is a base model Yeetie. There are other ones that you can buy. I think they're quite literally $1,000, where they'll have in the charging base a bigger container in the back that it'll actually self-empty its bin into when it goes into the charging base. I don't find that necessary for myself because I just come home and I, pop the lid and empty it. Big deal. But if you're gone for an extended period of time, or maybe someone elderly owns it and it's not easy for them to bend over and empty this, so maybe they would like the $1,000 model, but not necessary for me. They have ones like that with the Roomba as well, and those ones do have mapping capabilities. Haven't been able to test it myself because obviously I don't have $1,000 of disposable income, but I'm assuming the mapping capabilities are about on par with what this can offer here. So yeah, they're going back on the pricing. They're both $300. Yeetie is offering a discount code for you guys to use if you are interested in looking at it for yourself. I'll leave a link down below in the description. There is a discount code for it. They sponsored the video in terms of providing the review model, but they haven't seen this video ahead of time to approve it or anything, and I'm not earning any extra commission or anything like that. I don't know. I feel like you have to kind of announce that these days, so I just went ahead and did that. So in conclusion, yeah, if you want a robot vacuum and you just don't want to put in the effort of having to pull out your vacuum, your main vacuum all the time and do it yourself like a Neanderthal, then between the two, this is the one to go with. I mean, in terms of price, they're both the same price. Pick this one. It surpasses this in every way. So yeah, that be a review of some dusty robot vacuums. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Huge shout out to the people listed here. These are the Patreon supporters that allow me to keep doing what I do on YouTube. Wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. There's a Discord server in the description if you want to join there. And on Twitch, I stream every week on Tuesday. Come hang out with us.